Hey, today we'll be installing the secret weapon intake on this car. So we're going to give you the rundown of how to install it and give you the steps. So first we're going to go ahead and disconnect the airflow sensor, which is here. Just push down the tab and slide it back. We're going to take off the wire harness off the airbox also, here, here, and here. So we'll take that clip off, take that clip off, move it to the side. We're going to use a needle nose and pop that off of the bottom of the airbox. It's just a small little grommet. There we go. So that's completely free. We'll move that to the side. Next thing we'll do is loosen this. Take the airbox off, top of the airbox off. Just take that off, slide it to the side. And there's two clamps that you can release, here and here. Pop that off, top of the airbox comes off. And we'll be removing this airflow sensor later, so we put this airbox to the side for later use. Remove the air filter, and we'll be removing the bottom of this airbox. It just pulls straight up, and it comes right out. So next we'll be removing these hoses and this intake hose. So the hoses are easy, just pull them off. This one, just pull the clamp, squeeze it, and just twist it a little bit, like so. Sometimes they're a little bit stubborn, so you just gotta kind of pop it out. There it goes, that's out. And you've got a quick release clamp down here in the bottom, which we're gonna stop and show you how to take that off. Here we go ahead, and we're gonna be removing this clamp right here. So you just take a needle nose or whatever type of pliers that you have, and you just go ahead and squeeze it, and just pull the intake tube off. There you go. Now the intake is ready to go. So next we're gonna be putting on the coupler onto the throttle body. This is the throttle body. We put the coupler on there with the clamp. So here goes the clamp and the coupler, and it's just a flathead screwdriver, so we just go ahead and tighten that up. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and tighten this clamp onto the coupler right here. And we're going to put another clamp on the other side of the coupler so we can put the pipe on. So we're going to pre-tighten that clamp just a little bit so it doesn't dangle around. I suggest this when doing your intakes. It's good right there. And now we're going to be putting the pipe on. So just a quick little description on secret weapon intakes. The secret weapon intakes have a secondary tube inside. You can see that from that angle and this angle. And what that function is that, when air travels through the smaller tube, it goes at a faster speed than it would in a bigger tube. So the two air speed profiles combined together actually vacuum each other, so it generates more airflow to the intake system. So let's say your car is getting only about 1 time speed of air. With this setup, you're getting 2 times speed, so you're getting a lot more air into the intake system. So it's definitely a good benefit for your car, especially performance-wise. So we're going to go ahead and push that in. Get it nice and snug. We always don't fully tighten everything down before we go ahead and fit everything perfectly. Next, we're going to go ahead and put the hoses together. So this is the evap hose from the valve cover. You can use the OEM one, or you can use the one that's provided. For this situation, we're just going to use the OEM one because it fits perfectly. And then you got this other vacuum hose, 4mm. You just go ahead and plug that into the intake system. Everything goes back to original. So now we're going to go in and start and install the airflow sensor back onto the intake system. So we're going to take that off of the original air box that I had talked to you about, that we put to the side for later installation. So we're going to go ahead and take that off the air box. Okay, so we're going to be putting the air filter onto the intake system, but before we do that, I want to explain a little bit about some of these WPN.R air filters. Every one of them have a velocity stack in them. whether it be the Secret Weapon air filter or the Dragon air filter. So this is a velocity stack, and inside all velocity stacks actually increase the velocity of the airflow. And basically, it's kind of like, it gathers a lot more air and it funnels it into the air intake pipe. So anytime you see something like this, you know you're winning. So we're gonna go ahead and put this air filter onto the new intake system, and let's keep it going. All right, so we're gonna be putting the air filter on right now. So we already put the coupler onto the air filter and we tightened it up already. So we just need to put this side on and tighten that clamp. So you just slide it onto the pipe, should be super easy. And every one of our air intake pipes has a little bump, on there to make sure the clamps don't come off or anything like that. So we just tighten that up and we'll be good. Right after that, we just plug up the airflow sensor and we're pretty much ready to go. We're just gonna put a intake bracket onto this, but here we go. We're gonna plug the airflow sensor back in. It's pretty much ready to go. So lastly, we're gonna put a bracket onto this to hold it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're gonna be putting the air intake system bracket on now. What comes with the kit is this one right here. You basically, this hook will go underneath this clamp, and you would use any one of these holes to mount to the rubber grommet that we have right here. We already installed it. It looks like this. So it's a vibration screw. So we have one that's already pre-bent that I have bent already. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. So put that onto the vibration screw. Just tighten that down. And this side goes underneath this clamp. So we're gonna go ahead and put that underneath the clamp. And tighten it down. And basically that's going to just hold the air intake system in place just from any, hold it nice and tight. And go ahead and plug the airflow sensor in and tighten everything up. We're going to tighten up all the screws, the clamps, make sure everything's tight. And we're going to go ahead and tighten that one down. And we're going to start the car and let you hear the engine. Okay, see, it's nice and tight now. All the hoses are hooked up, everything. Make sure before you start the car, you don't want any check engine lights. So you want to make sure that's connected. Your hoses are all connected. Everything's connected that came off the original air intake system. It's all tight, ready to go. So go ahead and start the car and we'll go from there. All right, we're gonna start the engine. Let you guys hear this intake. There it goes. You usually let the engine idle for a little bit so that ECU sees the new airflow and changes and stuff that it needs to do. And then we can go ahead and give it a little bit of gas. Yeah. That's a beast. So there you have it. The intake is installed. Remember to subscribe and follow us and share. Thanks a lot.